So Ankur is from Jito Innovation Fund, right? And Pallavi is very active in terms of interacting with all of the starters from Nasik ecosystem, and she has been a VC consultant in that sense as well. So we, with the interest of all the audience, we have student innovators, early stage innovator, aspiring entrepreneurs, as well as entrepreneurs who have their MVPs, prototypes in hand, right? First thing which I would like to ask to panelists is so for a example, a startup coming from tier 2 city like Nasik, a lot of time mindset shift needs to be happen, right? When you need to approach to an investor, what sort of mindset they should have while approaching an investor, right? A lot of time what we see while we evaluate startups, सबसे पहली चीज रहती है कि हमें फंड चाहिए. फंड क्यों चाहिए? तो हमें एप्लीकेशन बनाए, बट दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट application is, why application is there, the why part is missing. So if you can put some light what you guys look into while evaluating and startup. Maybe Pallavi you can start then eventually.
Yeah, very happy to be here and great to see so many founders in one room. So to answer your question, Nikhil, I am a VC and startup strategist and an advisor to family offices and angel investors. And having said that, I'm going to tell you what we look at very early stages, because that is the stage that we look at when we go for funding. So when it comes to very early stages, think of it like these three T's is essentially what I look at. So the first one would be the team. That is, who are the founders? What is the background of the founders? How resilient are the founders? How passionate are they about the idea that they are promoting? Have they, basically, what is their drive? So that T is like the most important thing that we look at. So the team is there. The second T would be the theme, right? So what is the business idea? What is the problem statement? What sector is it falling under? And very important in the whole scheme of things is also the timing. Is the timing right now? Again, these are all judgment calls and these are all bets that we have to make as investors. And since I'm on the other side on the table, I'm just telling you this. These are the lens with which we look at businesses. So the theme and the timing aspect of it. And then comes the larger team and the setup and the other things. So, who are the strategic advisors? Who are the partners? What is the plan for implementation broadly? Those are the aspects that we look at. And traction is something that we look at, like that's a strategic move that we have decided on taking. Not necessarily all investors do that. A lot of investors also bet on ideas in early stages, but we also look at traction. So as entrepreneurs or as founders, if we spoke a lot about pilots earlier. So if you can have a pilot and you can very convincingly show traction, have those numbers in place, if you can show that there is a demand in the market, you are able to garner users, you are able to prove your use case, and you can show that this is something that users are ready to pay for, and you can show like rapid increase, like the graph. Because see, when it comes to startups and investors, everybody is looking for exponential growth, right? So if you can show some proof of concept early stage, then that's wonderful. So these are like the few things that we look at.
Great. Thank you so much for your answer. Maybe Ankur you can follow up
Yeah.
with that.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Ankur Surana. I represent Jito. I am a chief secretary at Jito Angel Network. So at Jito, primarily we take over about ideation startups who are, product market fit is there. So probably I agree with her, and I would just add the trend also on what trend we are working. As Sachin ji has said that we should not waste the timing, right VCs or right angel network we should go. So we have a preference as an angel network. We don't invest in meat any other startups who are in tobacco or liquor. So if some startup approach to us, we will not invest in that. So that is our thesis of startup. However, as an angel network, we are bullish on EVs, electronic and AI based startups right now. And we also run an incubation center wherein the supports like MSISN and SIFS funding also we grant. So I think more or less she has also spoken. So that's all from us.
Great. Thank you so much, Ankur. Maybe for Sachin sir, I do have one very specific question.
Can I add a slight value?
Yeah,
I
please,
think
please go ahead. Go
what
ahead.
the information about generally what VCs look for is covered. But I want to add one small nuance. The beauty about this ecosystem is that there are so many players who have their focus areas. So sometimes, while generally VCs will look for team and traction and market size, etc., you will find VCs or investors who are focused on specifically healthcare,
Correct.
right? Or specifically deep tech, or specifically agri. Okay, so that is also something to take into account. That look for specialized VCs. If you are not building a very large enterprise, then it is quite possible that with these specialist VCs you will be able to raise funding. Right.
Great, great. So, Sachin, when you sit with an entrepreneur, a founder, what are first one or two things which you would be looking at them? Like one could be, say, active listener, how agile they are. What are these intangibles which all entrepreneurs or founders should be mindful of while approaching or while starting or getting into a startup?
Yeah, so some people are able to gauge in one sitting. I can't.
Correct.
But what I look for when I'm having a conversation first is how deep an understanding does that person have about the problem they're solving? Are they able to highlight the challenges? Are they able to give me some new information that probably I don't know about that problem, or what makes that problem interesting? What makes that entrepreneur trick? So that spark you look for, where there's something different about this person and there is something different that he's trying to solve. It is not easy to quantify this into like one or two
Correct,
words,
correct.
but whatever problem you're solving, you need to have a deep understanding of that.
Okay. Okay. And Pallavi, for you, if there are more than one co-founder, what do you look into them? What is their sync? What are their dynamics? How do they complement with each other? What are these threats, the hidden threats which you look for in a startup?
So it is actually wonderful to have multiple co-founders. And what we look for essentially is complementary skill sets when it comes to that. So say somebody is on the tech side, then it's always beneficial if the other co-founder is an expert in marketing or in operations or in something complementary. So that is preferred. And I'll also just take this opportunity to segue a little bit into what he said about focus sectors. So anybody in the room who is solving for sports or spiritual tourism, I would love to have a chat with you because these are also sectors that currently I'm focusing on.
Super.
Great. Thank you so much. Maybe Ankusa, do you want to add something?
I will add on co-founder.
Okay.
Two things on co-founder. Entrepreneurship is a long journey. Having built it, we started in 2006, listed in 2015. It's going to take you at least 10 years. You must have co-founders. VCs, a lot of good VCs insist on co-founders. Not that they will not fund single founder companies. There are enough examples, but they look for co-founders. Complementary skills, yes. If you don't have one, please find a co-founder. So, yeah.
So as a founder, I just add that you should be jiddi, in terms of your not the attitude, but jid hona chahiye ki nahi, I have to do it,
Yeah.
So that is what I want to add. That in any field, if you want to pursue anything, you need to have that passion and perseverance along with it. So
Correct.
that is what as an investor we see. Of course, the other factors are also there, the products and everything, and scalability. But for an angel investor point of view, is the only we are looking at the promoter or the founder who is going to run the show.
Sure. Correct. Maybe with the interest of time, yeah. No problem. No problem. Take this. Take this.
This question is not really related to the commercial part, but related to ethical part. So, as an investor, do you look for unconscious bias, conscious bias in the product which AI team will be developing, or you do not consider that?
So can you elaborate a little more?
Unconscious bias means if some AI is uh, developed and it isolates one group entirely from loans and other things, that is very important. For instance, some areas where loan repayment is not done properly and you have entirely isolated an area, any application comes from that area, you will reject it. So that is bias that is introduced. Unconscious bias means you don't actually are conscious, but it is introduced. For instance, someone joins the organization after mat leave, then you don't have to give that person a very heavy duty job. So that is unconscious bias. So, do you look for something like that? Because you may land up with problems. I have seen such things happening. Very good product. I was working on that, but it turned out to be totally conscious driven. Uh, and therefore, we had to abandon that.
Sir, I don't think investors would look for anything like that, because ultimately the product has to survive the test of time. And if there are any such biases, that company will have to somewhere or the other solve for it. So in fact, at due diligence, they will look at all these, specifically targeting AI startups,
You will run into huge compensation gain.
liabilities and so on. So I don't think consciously or even in fact, in AI startups, investors are extremely conscious about making sure that there are no biases or there are no edge cases and so on. But also, startups are finding the way. So early on, there will be a lot of these cases that will come up. What we do look for is, are the founders, do they have biases in terms of corporate governance, in terms of, because ultimately the systems will be their mental models. So it is important that we go after founders who have the right intent and don't have any governance issues or any such biases in their ecosystem, that okay, I don't want to build for this, I don't want to do for that, and so on. If you're able to find the right founders and the founder fit to the problem, then as investors we are happy, because now we know that okay, the founder is right and he's solving the right problem, then we can back them, and then whatever edge cases come up in the journey will get solved for. I don't know if I've answered your question perfectly.
It's correct. Because you have answered. In a
Maybe so we can have this.
We'll have a
offline.
longer conversation.
We can
And,
have this offline
because
conversation.
there are many angles to it. Especially
there are many
when
angles.
you are working in US, you have to be conscious of DEI.
Yeah.
That things
Sure.
are not considered here.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Ankur,
Thank you,
Sachin,
Anil.
and Pallavi.
Thank you, Pallavi.
Team, everyone, three of them would be available here. Maybe any one of you want to reach out to them. Yeah.
They called you, okay?
So I just want to conclude with one message, which, earlier also Sachin was mentioning, and, even the other speaker on the stage, that we look at the energy and the drive of the founder. So, this is something that once a very brilliant founder told me, and I would love to share that thought with all of you. It is that, when it comes to resources and constraints, and, in the midst of all of this, it is the founder who thrives, survives, builds something. So have this mindset which says that you don't save through your problems, you sell through your problems. So if you have like this solution oriented mindset, you're definitely going to succeed. You're going to, like Ajay sir said earlier, make in India, deliver from Nasik or deliver from any other city. I think we can all do it. Yeah. Thank you.